Attention please, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly proceed to the conference room. The event is about to begin. Please be seated. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan, Rahayu. Good morning, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to extend our warmest welcome to all participants, especially to our special guest today, Vice Rector for Academic, Student and Alumni Affairs, Universitas Nasional, Profesor Dr. Suryono Effendi, SA, MBA, MM. Our invited speakers, His Excellency Professor Dr. Andes Akmal Malik, MSI, Acting Governor of East Kalimantan, Indonesia, who joining us virtually today. Good morning, Governor. Dr. Uyesi Yusuf Afci from Social Science University of Ankara, Turkey, warming welcome. Dr. Anton Galuska Adaikin, MIA, MPA from Kharkiv Institute of Oriental Studies and International Relations, Ukraine, warming welcome. Bapak Khairul Fuad MA, sociologist from Universitas Nasional, and also Professor Kosuke Mizuno, PhD, from Kyoto University, Japan, who joining us virtually today. Dean of Faculty of Social and Political Science, Universitas Nasional, Associate Professor Dr. Anda Erna Ermawati, Kotim, MSI, we warming welcome. Vice Dean for Academic Administration and Finance, Faculty of Social and Political Science, Universitas Nasional, Dr. Awas Yuli Firdaus, SIP, MSI. Vice Dean for Student Affairs, Collaboration and Human Resources, Bapak Angga Sulaiman, MAP. Dr. Andi Ahdian, MSI, as our moderator for today. Head of Departments of the Faculty of Social and Political Science, and lecturers, warming welcome. And also the students, committee, and all of our guests joining today here, we wish you have a great pleasure time with us. Welcome to the 4th International Conference of Social Politics, the Age of Anthropocene, Empowering the Future Asia through Interdisciplinary Approach. Today, October 8, 2024 in Cyber Auditorium Universitas Nasional, Jakarta. This event is also a part of series celebration, the 75th anniversary of Universitas Nasional. Please give a big round of applause to Universitas Nasional. Thank you. My name is Nisrina Humaira, and it's an honor for me to be the master of ceremony for today's event. And now, let us open this event by reciting Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, before continuing today's event, please rise for the singing of our national anthem, Indonesia Raya, and March of Universitas Nasional.
Tanah airku, tanah tumpah darahku, di sanalah
ladies and gentlemen, you may now have a seat. Thank you. Before continuing today's event, now we are proud to present the teaser video of Icosop. Okay, please give a big round of applause to Icosop 2024, everyone. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are now in the opening session, we would like to invite the Chief Executive of the 4th Icosop to deliver the report. Please welcome Dr. Konita Basalama, SIP, MSI.
Bismillah. The Honorable Vice Rector of Academic, Student Affairs and Alumni, Professor Dr. Suryono Effendi, SA, MA, MBA, the Honorable Dean of Faculty of Social and Political Science, our beloved Associate Professor Dr. Erna Ermawati Hotim, MSI, Vice Dean of Academic and Finance, Dr. Aus Juli Firdaus, MIP, Vice Dean of Student Affairs, Collaboration and Human Resource, Bapak Angga Sulaiman, MAP, the distinguished invited speakers, Professor Dr. Akmal Malik, Professor Kasuko Mizuno, PhD, Dr. Anton Galushka, Dr. Yusuf Afci, Bapak Hairul Fuad, MA, the respectable institution from Japan, Ukraine, Turkey, and of course our beloved country Indonesia, to share their valuable perspective and knowledge, and also presenters from countries that is sum up to 11 countries gathered in this event that we all proud of. We invite presenters to gather different perspectives and spectacles in order to fulfill the interesting gaps in this area. It is an honor and pleasure to serve you in this annual event of Faculty in Social and Political Science, Universitas Nasional, that we all proud of. It has been a joyful roller coaster ride for all us, the committee, preparing this conference. We are grateful that the preparation sum up with this beautiful event that we intended as a medium of exchange knowledge among presenters, lecturers, policymakers, and general audience. We accepted 23 abstracts that will be presented in panel parallel session, and it's also our pilot project to serve our participant of summer course. This is also our first summer course that conjunct to this conference. It is also a moment to celebrate the presentation of all invited speakers who cannot make it to present in person due to their tight schedule and commitment, but still they can manage their valuable time to join this conference with us. I cannot thank them enough for sharing the excitement and the great energy of sharing their thought for this conference. The platform also to ease the presenters who are from outside Indonesia, the presenters from Japan and Malaysia with their very good abstract that promising further studies that we encourage. We would like to address our gratitude to the Universitas Nasional Rector and Vice Rectors, the Faculty of Social and Political Science, our dearest Madam Dean and Mr. Five Deans, leaders of FISIP and students for their commitment to support our annual conference Icosop. And to conclude the speech, I would like to address my appreciation to all the committee members, Panitia, for their endless support and effort to finally make this event possible. We really hope that this event will benefit all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Kanita, for the report. Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda, we would like to invite Dean of Faculty of Social and Political Science, Universitas Nasional, to deliver her welcoming remarks. To Associate Professor Dr. Anda Erna Ermawati, Kotim MSI, the stage is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning for all. Dear guests, Professor Suryono Effendi as our Vice Rector of Universitas Nasional, Professor Dr. Akmal Malik MSc as a keynote speaker for today, Professor Mizuno from Kyoto University. Hello, Professor Mizuno. And Dr. Yusuf Afsi from Social Science University of Ankara. Good morning. And Dr. Anton Galusa Adaim from Cardiff Institute of Oriental Studies and International Relations, Ukraine. Good morning. Bapak Hairul Fuad from our faculty, and dear scholars, dear colleagues, and dear participants, and importantly for head of a committee for Icosop. It is great honor to me to welcome you to 4th International Conference on Social Political Science, organized by the Faculty of Social and Political Science of Universitas Nasional. This year, our conference became very special because it was attended by speakers from Japan, Turkey, Ukraine, as well as the governor of East Kalimantan. But this conference was also attended by alumni of the first Sultan Takdir Ali Syahbana summer course. Good morning. This becomes very special milestones as we are honored to have among us alumni the prestigious Sultan Takdir Ali Syahbana summer course, whose presence adds a unique dimension of intellectual heritage to our gatherers. Icosop Convergence with Sultan Takdir Ali Syahbana summer course alumni bring together two significant themes of academic traditions: our faculty commitment to advancing social and political discourse, and the deep intellectual legacy of Sultan Takdir Ali Syahbana, whose pioneering work in bridging Eastern wisdom with Western modernity continues inspire scholarly discussion today. Their participation enriches our conference with diverse perspectives shaped by their exposure to cross-cultural academic experience and their engagement with the philosophical foundation of Sultan Takdir Ali Syahbana. As we navigate through complex global challenges, from digital transformation to social justice, from environment sustainability to cultural preservation, the conference serves as an essential platform for meaningful dialogue and knowledge exchange. The presence of speaker and Sultan Takdir Ali Syahbana summer course alumni specifically strengthen our capacity to address these challenges through a lens that combine local wisdom with a global perspective. An approach that Professor Sultan Takdir Ali Syahbana himself championed throughout his academic career also. During the conference, all participants are expected to explore cutting-edge research, engage in discussion, and forge new collaboration that transcend geographical and disciplinary boundaries. The diverse expertise gathered here today, from seasoned academics to new scholars, from policy practitioner to social innovator, creates tremendous opportunity for intellectual cross-pollination and new generation of insight. I would like to express my sincere thanks to all the keynote speakers, participants, presenters, and especially for head of committee this Icosop conference, esteemed alumni of the Sultan Takdir Ali Syahbana summer course also for choosing to be a part of this significant academic gathering. Your presence and contributions will undoubtedly improve the quality of our discussion and strengthen the bridge we built between different schools of thought and cultural perspective. Let us embrace this opportunity to learn from each other's challenge our assumptions and work together to advance social and political sciences in a way that respect our academic tradition and aspiration for the future. Hopefully, this conference will be testament to enduring relevance of academic dialogue and cross-cultural understanding in overcoming contemporary global challenges. I hereby declare the 4th International Conference on Social Politics officially open. And wish you all a productive and enriching experience. Enjoy with our conference. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Associate Professor Dr. Anda Erna Ermawati Kotim MSI for the amazing welcoming remarks. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, now we would like to honorably invite Vice Rector for Academic, Student, and Alumni Affairs Universitas Nasional, Professor Dr. Suryono Effendi, SA, MBA, MM, to deliver his opening speech. To Professor Suryono, the stage is yours. Professor Suryono, please. Please give a big applause to Professor Suryono Effendi.
Terima kasih, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang saya hormati Profesor Dr. Akmal Malik, MSI, Gubernur Kalimantan Timur, yang hari ini harusnya hadir, namun tidak bisa hadir karena ada tugas yang tidak bisa ditinggalkan. Tapi beliau mengikuti melalui Zoom. Yang saya hormati Profesor Dr. Kusike Muzono, Kyoto University, Japan. Good morning, Prof. Dr. Kusuke Mizuno.
Selamat pagi.
Beliau melalui Zoom. Yang saya hormati Dr. Agri Osasi Yusuf AVCI, Ankara University, Turkey. Good morning and welcome to Universitas Nasional. Yang saya hormati Dr. Anton Galusa Adaiim, Kharkiv Institute, Ukraine. Good morning and welcome to UNAS. Yang saya hormati Profesor Dr. Airna Koptim, MSI, Dekan Fakultas Ekonomi, Sosial dan Ilmu Politik. Yang saya hormati Dr. Khairul Fuad, MA, dosen FISIP Universitas Nasional, serta para dosen yang hadir hari ini, Wakil Dekan, para Kaprodi, dan para mahasiswa yang saya cintai dan saya banggakan. Salam sejahtera kita sampaikan dengan segala kerendahan hati. Marilah kita senantiasa memanjatkan puji syukur hadirat Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala atas segala rahmat hidayah yang dilimpahkan pada kita semua, sehingga pada hari ini kita bersama-sama bisa menghadiri kegiatan internasional Conference on Social Politik Icosop dalam keadaan sehat walafiat. Bapak, Ibu, para hadirin yang berbahagia, saya atas nama Rektor Universitas Nasional mengucapkan terima kasih kepada para narasumber dan para peserta yang hadir hari ini, baik melalui onsite maupun online, dan permohonan maaf kepada Bapak Rektor karena berhalangan hadir untuk bergabung hari ini, karena beliau ada kegiatan yang bersamaan yang tidak bisa ditinggalkan. Namun Bapak Rektor menitipkan salam serta salam hangat kepada semua yang hadir pada hari ini. Bapak, Ibu, serta hadirin yang berbahagia, kami mengucapkan selamat datang di Universitas Nasional. Universitas Nasional merupakan perguruan tinggi swasta pertama di Jakarta yang didirikan pada tahun 1949 oleh para tokoh-tokoh pejuang nasional dalam rangka memajukan pendidikan dan kebudayaan berdasarkan kehidupan bangsa, mencerdaskan kehidupan bangsa, serta bertujuan untuk melahirkan intelektual muda di bidang ilmu pengetahuan dan teknologi. Di usia yang ke-75 tahun pada hari ini, pada tahun ini, Universitas Nasional sampai saat ini telah memiliki 8 fakultas dan sekolah pasca sarjana dengan total program studi 40 program studi. Alhamdulillah, program studi hampir 35% di usia 75 tahun ini telah terakreditasi A dan unggul, serta secara institusi Universitas Nasional berhasil meraih akreditasi institusi dengan peringkat unggul. Semoga perhelatan International Conference on Social Politik Icosop yang keempat ini dapat terselenggara dengan baik. Saya selaku pimpinan Universitas Nasional sangat mendukung kegiatan Icosop ini. Dengan adanya konferensi ini diharapkan akan menambah kerjasama dan kolaborasi untuk menghasilkan artikel internasional yang berkualitas. Mengakhiri sambutan ini, sekali lagi kami menyampaikan terima kasih kepada semua pihak, khususnya kepada panitia, juga khususnya kepada Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dan Ilmu Politik yang telah menyelenggarakan dan mendukung penuh acara ini, dan selamat mengikuti International Conference on Social Politik. Semoga berjalan dengan lancar dan baik. Sekian, terima kasih dari kami. Lebih dan kurangnya saya mohon maaf. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Profesor Suryono, please stay on the front because the next agenda is the photo session. We cordially invite to the stage Dean of Faculty of Social and Political Science Universitas Nasional, Associate Professor Dr. Anda Erna Ermawati Khotim MSI, Vice Dean of Academic and Finance Dr. Awas Yuli Firdaus SIP MSI, Vice Dean of Student Affairs, Collaboration and Human Resources Bapak Angga Sulaiman MAP, and also our invited speakers Dr. Uyesi Yusuf Afci from Social Science University of Ankara, Turkiye, Dr. Anton Galuska Adaikin, MIA, MPA from Kharkiv Institute of Oriental Studies and International Relations, Ukraine. Our moderator, Dr. Andi Ahdian, and also the faculty leaders, please come forward on the stage for the group photo session. We would like to invite the faculty leaders to come forward on the stage for joining the group photo session. Okay, are you guys ready? Please see the cameras in front of you. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Another pose, international. Okay, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now we are inviting all the participants, all the students to stand up as we are going to take a group photo session. The photographer will be on the stage to take all the participants in one frame. Yeah. Okay, now we are inviting the faculty leaders and our invited speakers for joining the group photo session. And all the participants, all the students, please stand up on your place. We're going to take a group photo session, all participants in one frame. Silakan seluruh mahasiswa dan juga tamu undangan bisa berdiri di tempat. Kita akan melakukan sesi foto bersama dengan para narasumber dan juga para pimpinan dari FISIP UNAS. The photographer will be on the stage to take all the participants. Are you guys ready? Sudah? 1, 2, 3. Oke, 1, 2, 3. Ganti gaya, another pose, international. 1, 2, 3. Sudah? Okay, thank you very much everyone. Please give a big round of applause for all of us here. Please return to your seat. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are happy to present you the solo performance by Mutia Azara.
Good morning, everyone. Jangan kadadau hidung Terima kasih.
Please give another applause to Mutia Azahra. Thank you very much, Mutia. What a beautiful performance today. Ladies and gentlemen, and now we continue the event. It's an honor to invite the acting governor of East Kalimantan, Indonesia, to deliver his keynote speech virtually today. But first, we would like to introduce our keynote speaker for today, Professor Dr. Andes Akmal Malik, MSc. He earned his doctoral degree in public administration. He's an Indonesian bureaucrat who served as Director General of Regional Autonomy at the Ministry of Home Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia. Currently, he's also the acting governor of East Kalimantan, Indonesia. To His Excellency Professor Dr. Andes Akmal Malik, MSc, the time is yours.
Good morning. The Honorable Dr. L. Amri Dermawi Putra, Rector of University Nasional, the Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Erna Ermawati Kotin, Dean of Social and Political Science University Nasional, Professor Dr. Suryono Effendi, the Honorable Dr. Konita Basalama, Chief Executive of the Fourth Icosop, the Honorable Dr. U.S. Yusuf, Ankara Social Bilimer University Turki as speaker, Professor Kozuke Mizono, PhD, Kyoto University as speaker, Dr. Anton Galuska Adaikin, Kharkiv Institute of Oriental Studies and International Relations, Ukraine as speaker, distinguished guests, colleagues, and esteemed participants. I'm sorry because can't attending directly in this forum because of the suddenly get duty from Mr. President. So I have prepared my presentation a long time ago, but sorry, I will present by virtual. It's an honor to address you today as we explore a topic of great significance, not just within our nation, but across the globe. Our theme, Transforming Indonesia, Empowering Bureaucracy and Innovation to Thrive in the Anthropocene Era, invite us to reflect on the urgent challenge and remarkable opportunity we face in this pivotal event. Ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished participants, I indeed appreciate the Committee of the International Conference on Social Politics, Universitas Nasional Jakarta, for bringing up a very interesting topic, the Anthropocene. Humans have undeniably transformed the way the world functions. From reshaping landscape to altering ecosystem, our activities have left an indelible mark on this planet. The rapid industrialization, urban expansion, and exploitation of the natural resources that have driven economic progress over the centuries have also led to unprecedented challenges. Climate change, biodiversity loss, and social inequalities, just to name a few. As we stand at this critical juncture, it's essential that we shift not just our action, but also our mindset. We must transition from a mindset of the consumption to one of sustainability, from viewing the earth as a resource to be exploited to recognize it as a complex, interdependent ecosystem that require stewardship and respect. The Anthropocene a term of signifying of the immense impact of human activity on our planet, present both daunting challenge and unprecedented opportunity. Indonesia, with its rich ecological diversity and rapidly developing economy, stand at the forefront of this dynamic. Our task today is to explore how we can harness this force to create sustainable and prosperous future for Indonesia. Next slide. To this issue, I propose to examine it from two distinct perspectives. The role of bureaucracy on the one hand and the function of the innovation as a catalyst of the others. Why the role of bureaucracy? This is because empowering our bureaucracy is essential. Effective governance requires not only policy making, but also implementation of the strategies that are proactive, responsive, and inclusive. By strengthening local governments, we can ensure that initiatives are tailored to meet the unique needs of their diverse region, from the bustling metropolis of Java to the remote island of the Papua. While talking about innovation as a catalyst, innovation across field is a catalyst for transformation. By investing in education, fostering technologies, advancement, and encouraging cross-sector collaboration, we can develop solutions that address environmental degradation, promote social equity, and boost economic growth. Digital technologies, in particular, offer tools to enhance transparency and civic engagement, empowering citizens as partners in development. Next slide. Human activity have significant other ecosystems around the globe. Phenomena that define the current geological phase, known as Anthropocene. This impact is especially pronounced in Asia, including Indonesia, due to several factors. One, deforestation and land use change. Deforestation in Indonesia and across Asia, large areas of the forest have been cleared for agriculture, palm oil plantation, and urban development, which lead to reducing biodiversity and disrupt local climate. Soil degradation. Intensive agriculture practice have led to soil erosion and degradation, reducing the land productivity. Number two, urbanization. Rapid urban growth. Asia is experiencing some of the fastest urbanization rate in the world, with significant increase in the infrastructure and housing development. Environmental stress. This leads to increased pollution, loss of green space, and greater demand for resources like water and energy, putting at strain a local ecosystem. Number three, climate change. Greenhouse gas emission in industrial activities are major source in carbon emission in Asia, contributing to global climate change, which affect weather pattern, sea level, and biodiversity. Vulnerability. Indonesia, as an island nation, is particularly vulnerable to sea level rise, which threaten coastal communities and ecosystem. Number four, pollution. Air and water pollution. Industrial discharge and urban runoff contribute to significant air and water pollution, impacting human health and aquatic life. Marine ecosystem. The pollution affects Indonesia's coral reef and marine biodiversity, which are crucial for fishery and tourism. Number five, biodiversity loss. species existing, habitat destruction and pollution have led to decline of the species diversity. Indonesia, home of unique flora and fauna, sees many species becoming endangered. Impact on ecosystem. The loss of biodiversity affect ecosystem services such as pollination, water purification, and climate regulation. Next slide. In the context of the Anthropocene, bureaucracies play a crucial role in shaping sustainable future. By promoting collaboration among diverse stakeholders, including government, private sector, civil society, and local communities, bureaucracies can develop comprehensive strategies that address environmental challenges. Embracing technological advancement, enhance efficiency, and create adaptive systems that respond to the social need. Prioritizing sustainable governance involves implementing transparent, accountable policy that protect resources for future generations. A holistic approach that integrated multiple disciplines is essential for designing effective and equitable solutions. Ultimately, through collaboration, technology, and sustainable governance, bureaucracy can lead innovative effort to mitigate the impact of the Anthropocene and foster resilience for the future. Next. The cornerstone of success in empowering bureaucracy and fostering innovation to thrive the Anthropocene era lies in enhance the government role in crafting policy that promotes sustainability. This involves integrating proactive governance with advanced innovative solutions. By empowering governmental bodies to prioritize sustainability in their policy making, we can create an environment where innovative practice flourishes. Embracing this dual approach not only addresses the pressing challenge of our time to also pave the way for resilient and sustainable future. It is through this element of government innovation that we can effectively navigate the complexity of the Anthropocene and drive meaningful progress. Next slide. In Indonesia, balancing regional autonomy with central authority is critical in the management of natural resources, including environmental and forestry. Law number 23 of the 2040 concern regional government, regional governments the authority to manage environmental issue at the local level. This autonomy allows for the region-specific policy that align with the local need. It must also be coordinated with the central government to ensure national sustainability goals. The allocation of the resources through mechanisms such as Special Allocation Fund or DAPK for both physical, for example, water, forestry, environmental, and non-physical project, for example, water treatment, waste management, as well as incentive fund like the regional incentive fund and village fund. Further support climate change adaptation efforts. Ecology-based physical transfer also play a role in incentivizing the region to enhance environmental conservation. At the same time, in the context of Anthropocene era, marked by human-driven environmental change, the government role must expand to produce policy that encourage sustainability. The key to thriving this era lies in integrating proactive governance with innovation. By aligning local autonomy with the cutting-edge innovation and sustainability policy framework, Indonesia can be addressed both environmental challenge and social progress, ensuring to more resilient future and for all regions. Next, our commitment to sustainable environmental management in Indonesia is key to realizing better future for future generations. through collaboration between the government, communities, and private sector, we are determined to protect, to maintain, and restore our biodiversity and natural resources. Therefore, policy-based science, innovative technology, and local wisdom value to maintain ecosystem balance and create socio-economic justice for all Indonesia people must continue to be developed. Local government can make breakthrough in asymmetric policy for the purpose of the environmental conservation. With continuous action and inclusive approach, we believe that we can achieve sustainable development and live a healthy and sustainable environment for the future generation. Next. In the context of the East Kalimantan, the province in Indonesia with extraordinary natural wealth is now at the forefront of the impact of the Anthropocene. The ongoing development of the Indonesia capital city has placed East Kalimantan as the center of attention, not only nationally, but also globally. However, this development also requires us to be wiser in facing increasingly complex environmental issues, social and economic challenges. East Kalimantan stands at a pivotal moment in Anthropocene era, particularly with the establishment of the Indonesian capital city, or IKN. This development challenge us to realize the vision of the sustainable city by prioritizing ecological, social, and economic sustainability. Achieving this goal is a collective responsibility that requires collaboration among the government, academy, local community, and industry stakeholders. The region grapples with the serious environmental issues, including deforestation and land degradation, which are exacerbated by human development. However, this challenge also presents significant opportunity to adopt more integrated and sustainable approach to development. The provincial government is actively promoting environmental friendly policy, exemplified by initiatives like the Forest Carbon Partner Facility of FPF. This project aims to reduce emissions related to the deforestation while enhance the welfare of the local communities through a community-based approach. Through the FPF, East Kalimantan aspires to set benchmark for sustainable natural resources management not only in Indonesia but also throughout Asia. This demonstrated that despite of the negative impact of the human activities, positive change is achievable when we adopt the right strategy and work together. As a conclusion, having said that, through an asymmetric approach based on local need, the Indonesian bureaucracy can ensure that the implementation of the central regulation is not only normative and rigid, but also inclusive, relevant, and targeted to improve community welfare. Thus, the resulting program will be more effective in achieving sustainable development goals and responsive to regional dynamic. As we move forward, let us all embrace our collective responsibility to shape a more sustainable and equitable future, not only for East Kalimantan, but also as a guiding example for regions across Indonesia and beyond. Thank you. Wishing you all speakers and participants as credible event. Finish.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Andes Akmal Malik, MSE, for the wonderful speech that inspired us so much. Please stay on the screen because we are going to take a group photo session with you. Dimohon jangan kemana-mana, Bapak Akmal Malik, karena kita akan berfoto bersama kembali. And we would like to invite all the faculty leaders, invited speakers to come forward for the photo station with the governor, please. Silakan Bapak dan Ibu, invited speaker, our moderator, dan juga pimpinan fakultas. They come to the stage, kita akan kembali foto bersama dengan the governor. To our multimedia team, teman-teman multimedia, iya, silakan. Baik, sudah siap semuanya? Sudah siap? 1, 2, 3. Please see the cameras in front of you. 1, 2, 3. Another pose. Ganti gaya internasional. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Please give another applause to Professor Dr. Andes Akmal Malik, MSc, and all of us here. Thank you very much, Professor Akmal, for your time. Thank you very much for your time here, and also the speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, we are about to move on to invited speakers session. We have 4 speakers at a session will be led by our moderator. Before getting to the session, we would like to introduce our moderator for today. Dr. Andi Ahdian, MSc, is an Indonesian historian and academic known for his research and colonial history, labor movements, and political change in Indonesia. He's the head of the Sociology Study Program, Faculty of Social and Political Science, Universitas NASIONAL. His work often focuses on the intersection of social history and urban development, particularly in the context of Indonesia's colonial past and its legacies in modern society. His recent works, published into books titled Race, Class, and Nation, and Anti-Colonial Politics at the Turn of the 20th Centuries, represent his long commitment and interest to the colonial history and anti-colonial politics. As a public intellectual, Dr. Andi has contributed to critical discussions on Indonesian history, examining the role of workers, intellectuals, and marginalized communities in shaping the nation's political landscape. He's also a prolific writer and speaker, engaging in public discourse on Indonesia's social and political history. Without further ado, to Dr. Andi Ahdian, MSc, the floor is yours. Please give another round of applause to Dr. Andi.
Thank you very much, Master Ceremony. Good morning, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and dear participants. It is my great honor to welcome you to the 4th International Conference of Social and Political Science here at the Universitas Nasional. I would like to invite our speakers here. We have Dr. Anton Galuska Aydikin, please come to here. And Dr. Uyesi Yusuf Aci. And Mr. Khairul Fuad, MA. Please give applause to him. And also Professor Mizuno. Professor Mizuno, can you hear me? Hello? Professor Mizuno will participate in this session, but through online, yeah? Hello, Professor. How is that you can hear us? Hello? Hello, Professor Mizuno. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, loud and clear. Thank you very much for your participation in this discussion session. So, today's theme is about the age of Anthropocene, empowering the future through an interdisciplinary approach that reflects both the urgency and the promise of the time we live in, as mentioned by Pak Akmal. The Anthropocene marks an epoch where human activities have become the dominant influence on the planet and its destruction with the ecosystem and climate. It challenges us to rethink how we engage with the world across boundaries of discipline, geography, and sector. Whether we are addressing climate change, social inequality, or political instability, this global issue require complex and interdisciplinary solution. And that's why we have this conference and bring together scholars, practitioners, and thought leaders from diverse fields, fostering collaboration to envision and empower a sustainable future. I believe it is us who suffer from this process. It is not the Earth. The Earth still is going well for millions of years. So we must think about it very well. Our lineup of speakers and panelists will explore the intersection between the social, political, and environmental landscape of our time, reflecting on how the synergy between disciplines can lead to more innovative, inclusive, and effective strategies for the challenge of the Anthropocene. We have 4 speakers here, 3 with me, and 1 with us by online. And I would like to introduce our esteemed speaker first. First, we are honored to have Professor Kozuke Mizuno. Hello, Professor. Professor Kozuke Mizuno from Kyoto University is renowned for his extensive research on environmental sociology and human-environment interaction. Particularly focusing on Southeast Asia, his work bridges the gap between local ecological knowledge and global environmental policy, making him an indispensable voice in today's discussion about our topic on the Anthropocene. And next, joining us is Dr. Anton Goluska Adaikin. Am I right to spell it? Yes. And from the Institute of Oriental Studies and International Relations, Ukraine. Dr. Adaikin expertise in geopolitical studies and international relations will provide us with crucial insights into the socio-political ramifications of environmental change. His research connects the dots between political system, conflict, and resource management in the context of rapidly transforming world. And he's also a talented linguist. Yeah? He can speak Bahasa Indonesia, and what I'm very glad is he can speak also Sundanese. Wilujeng sumping Pak Anton.
Saya cik.
Kumaha damang?
Daman alhamdulillah.
And we also have here our third speaker, Assistant Professor Dr. Uyise Yusuf Akci from Ankara Social Science University. Give him applause first. Dr. Akci's interdisciplinary approach to history, politics, and anthropology bring a fresh perspective on the human dimension of the Anthropocene. His research focused on shifting political dynamics and cultural transformation, including the migration and mobility at Japan and Turkey. And we also have the 4th speaker here, Bapak Khairul Fuad. Bapak Khairul Fuad is a lecturer in sociology. He's my colleague, and his interest is about sociology of religion and also environment. Welcome, Pak Fuad. So, as the moderator of today's session, I look forward to have your point of view, guys, and I hope that it will conduct in lively engagement and ensuring that all voices are heard. So let's now warmly welcome to our first speaker, Bapak Dr. Anton Galuska first, ya. Okay, for 20 minutes. Yeah, time is yours. Okay, yes, you can go.
Hello. Excuse me, I need my presentation. Could you? Yep. Selamat pagi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya minta maaf sebelumnya. Saya akan berusaha menyampaikan ide-ide gagasan-gagasan saya pakai bahasa Indonesia. Tapi harap dimaklumin bila sesuatu enggak sesuai tata bahasa dan kaidah, ya. Oke. Akhirnya, tolong yang sebelumnya, yang pertama. Ya, itu dia. Jadi demokrasi di Asia, satu langkah mundur, dua langkah maju. Saya seorang Ukraina yang lahir di salah satu negara yang termasuk paling totaliter di sepanjang sejarah manusia. Saya pernah lahir di Uni Soviet, dan mungkin karena itu saya punya hak untuk bicara tentang demokrasi. Sebenarnya yang judul buat speech saya hari ini, satu langkah mundur, dua langkah maju, ini bisa dibilang kutipan dari judul buku seorang namanya Vladimir Ulyanov, yang mungkin lebih terkenal sama nama samaranya, Lenin. Pernah dengarkan nama Lenin dulu, ya? Vladimir Lenin. Jadi itu buku yang diterbitkan pada tahun 1904, dan di buku itu dia bicara soal komunisme, dan dia bilang komunisme pada waktu itu dia satu langkah maju, dua langkah mundur. Tapi pas 20 tahun kemudian, dia pas implementasi politik ekonomi baru, dia pernah bilang, ini udah Bolshevik, komunisme udah menang, dan pas menjelang terbentuknya Uni Soviet, dia pernah bilang, kami sekarang mundur ke belakang. Tapi kami melakukan ini agar kami bisa mundur terlebih dahulu, lalu berlari dan melompat ke depan dengan lebih kuat. Dan saya pas lagi membaca-baca, saya mikir apakah tahap perkembangan demokrasi di Asia bisa dianggap sebagai persiapan untuk lompatan lebih besar atau tidak. Karena itu muncul pertanyaan, apakah demokrasi di Asia memang mengalami backsliding? Tolong slide berikutnya. Jadi berdasarkan data yang didapat sama kawan-kawan dari salah satu organisasi di Jerman namanya Bertelsmann. Jadi demokrasi itu bisa dinilai berdasarkan kriteria yang bisa dibaca di sini. Jadi association rights, freedom of expression, separation of powers, independent judiciary, prosecution of abuse, civil rights, party system, monopoly of use of force. Jadi kalau kita melihat dari 1 sampai yang sistem multipartai, kalau berkurang berarti demokrasi menurun. Yang terakhir kalau nambah nilainya berarti demokrasi menurun juga. Jadi apa yang bisa disimpulkan? Jadi sekarang ini sebenarnya ada tren regional. Dan satu hal yang penting sekali, kita kan bicara soal Asia, tapi enggak semua Asia. Kita bicara yang di negara saya dipanggil Asia klasik, classical Asia. Jadi kita bicara soal Asia yang kita namain Far East, Asia Tenggara. Jadi bukan tentang Timur Tengah atau negara-negara yang muncul setelah Uni Soviet runtuh. Jadi itu totalnya 22 negara termasuk Indonesia. Jadi ada tren yang secara keseluruhan adalah fakta bahwa dari 22 negara itu ada 14 yang mengalami penurunan skor transformasi politik. Dan sebenarnya dalam beberapa kasus ini jadi sangat signifikan sekali. Ya, saya minta slide berikutnya. Mbak, minta slide berikutnya. Ya, oke. Oh ya, terima kasih banyak. Jadi sebenarnya dalam waktu terakhir cuma 5 negara yang mampu meningkatkan kualitas demokrasi pada institusi dan proses politiknya. Yang sebenarnya ada tren yang lebih menonjol, tren lainnya. Itu namanya penurunan kualitas demokrasi. Dan munculnya negara yang bisa disebutkan borderline democracies. Borderline democracies adalah negara-negara yang masih bisa disebut demokrasi, tapi yang mengalami penurunan konsisten yang semakin mendekatkan mereka pada sistem politik yang jelas udah otoriter. Sistem pemerintahan demokratis di negara-negara yang saya bilang borderline democracies itu agak mirip, mungkin pernah nonton ada TV series Amerika yang terkenal namanya House of Cards, Card House, jadi rumah kartu yang rapuh dan bisa runtuh kapan saja. Jadi sebenarnya pada tahun 2024 tahun ini ada 4 negara yang bisa dibilang yang borderline democracies itu. Itu adalah India, Malaysia, Filipina, dan Indonesia. Sebenarnya ada 10 tahun yang lalu ada 3 kasus yang mirip yang bisa dianggap juga borderline democracies. Itu adalah Bangladesh, Papua Nugini, dan Thailand. Dan sekarang ini 3 negara tersebut itu jadi negara otoriter. Sebenarnya ya jadi negara otoriter, tapi negara otoriter juga punya kelas-kelas sendiri. Yang mereka menjadi sebenarnya yang namanya hardened autocracies. Masih sebenarnya dalam sistem itu masih ada jejak-jejak hak-hak sipil dan kebebasan politik, tapi semakin menurun. Saya minta slide berikutnya. Minta slide berikutnya, tolong bantu. Ya, ini kita bisa sebenarnya melihat dinamika. Jadi yang garis itu tuh semacam garis khatulistiwa di antara tahun 2014 sama 2024. Dan kalau di bawah itu berarti terjadi penurunan kualitas demokrasi di negara-negara yang disebutkan di sini. Kalau di atas berarti ada dinamika yang positif. Jadi kita bisa lihat sebenarnya bahwa memang banyak negara mengalami penurunan skor demokrasi yang sangat signifikan sekali, termasuk negara yang tercinta oleh kita semua, Indonesia. Kasihan, tapi ya lagi sebenarnya otokrasi sama demokrasi itu subjektif sekali. Sebenarnya ada negara otokrasi yang kaya raya, ada negara demokrasi yang miskin banget. Itu sebenarnya bisa diperdebatkan. Tapi nanti kita ngambil keputusan bersama, kesimpulan bersama pas saya selesai. Oke, selanjutnya. Sebenarnya apa ciri-ciri tersembunyi negara tertentu menjadi semakin otoriter dan menjauhi demokrasi? Pertama, dan itu sebenarnya yang terkait sama kalian semua, yang penurunan kualitas pendidikan dan pembodohan masyarakat. Saya sebenarnya mau membaca kutipan dari salah satu refleksi cendekiawan namanya Günther Anders. Ini sebenarnya diciptakan refleksinya pada tahun 1956. Tapi sebenarnya seperti ramalan ya. Jadi dia pernah bilang, untuk menekan pemberontakan apapun tidak perlu melakukan tindakan kekerasan. Metode-metode yang seperti yang dipakai oleh Hitler atau Stalin sudah ketinggalan zaman. Yang ideal adalah membentuk manusia sejak lahir, membatasi keterampilan biologis bawaan mereka. Setelah ini kita akan terus melakukan pengkondisian, mengurangi pendidikan secara drastis, dan menguranginya hanya pada perolehan keterampilan profesional dan selanjutnya. Terus dia bilang kita akan menyiarkan secara massal program hiburan televisi yang hanya menarik emosi atau naluri. Pikiran akan dipenuhi dengan hal-hal yang tidak berguna dan main-main. Sebenarnya yang kita sekarang melihat memang kita mengalami situasi yang seperti ini. Saya memang gak mau mengkritik Gen Z dan seterusnya, ya, mainan HP, nonton acara di televisi yang menurut saya nggak terlalu pintar. Ya bisa semua juga, tapi sebenarnya memang kita melihat ada penurunan kualitas pendidikan. Mudah-mudahan di dalam gedung ini kita bisa melestarikan pendidikan dan ya back to normal. Hal yang kedua, apa yang terjadi kalau negara menjadi semakin otoriter? Tidak adanya social lifts. Menurut saya itu memang sangat penting sekali karena kekuasaan dan kekayaan adalah kepemilikan grup elit saja. Dan grup itu nggak mau menerima anggota baru. Satu contoh misalnya, kalian di sini ya kebanyakan mahasiswa-mahasiswi ya. Kalau di negara yang ada social lifts, gimana caranya? Misalnya nggak semua kita kaya raya dan nggak semua kita mampu, betul? Betul. Tapi ada banyak anak yang punya talenta, yang punya bakat. Jadi anak itu dikasih beasiswa, dikasih kesempatan untuk punya pendidikan yang baik. Terus di dalam gedung universitas juga kan sama administrasi melihat, oh ini ada memang mahasiswa yang memang bakatnya luar biasa. Dipromosikan ke departemen negara atau ke lembaga-lembaga tertentu. Jadi ada social lifts-nya. Saya mau tanya, di Indonesia ada social lifts atau enggak? Ini pertanyaan, ada enggak social lifts-nya? Secara umum. Oke, nanti kita lagi bahas. Tapi menurut saya sebenarnya, saya kan pengamat ya, saya bisa lihat dari jauh. Mungkin lebih bisa melihat lebih detail kadang-kadang. Menurut saya sekarang di Indonesia agak berkurang juga. Dan misalnya ada social listnya, tapi misalnya lewat aparat ya, masuk TNI, atau ya lembaga yang memang terkait sama aparat. Tapi kalau lewat pendidikan menurut saya agak susah. Tapi aparat pun juga, kita di Uni Soviet dulu ada semacam lelucon tapi yang sebenarnya kurang lucu. Jadi seorang anak kolonel tanya bapaknya, bapak saya jadi letnan, dia bilang pasti jadi. Saya jadi kapten, pasti jadi. Saya jadi mayor, pasti jadi. Kolonel, jadi. Jenderal, enggak. Kenapa enggak? Karena jenderal punya anak sendiri. Jadi memang tidak adanya social lifts-nya itu memang salah satu problem buat negara otoriter. Terus saya minta satu slide berikutnya. Itu yang terkait negara saya Ukraina dan salah satu ciri khasnya. Ciri khas yang memang tidak tersembunyi bahwa negara tertentu menjadi semakin otoriter atau sudah jadi otoriter adalah sikap agresif di ajang internasional, propaganda, militerisasi. Ini sebenarnya kalian dengarkan ya, misalnya isu China Taiwan ya yang waktu-waktu terakhir ini semakin panas. Ini sebenarnya tahu nggak kenapa China mau menyerang atau ya ada isu hot itu. Soal harta enggak, soal tanah juga enggak segitu pokoknya ya. Taiwan kecil, China mainland besar. Sebenarnya ini foto dari Ukraina tahun 2004. Ini revolusi oranye di Ukraina. Jadi sebenarnya juga dikit tentang perang Ukraina Rusia ya sebagai bahan pelajaran di sini. Sebenarnya negara yang mau jadi negara demokratis, yang mau jadi maju adalah contoh yang buruk buat negara otoriter. Kenapa? Karena negara otoriter kalau di dekat perbatasannya ada negara yang sukses, jadi contoh buruk buat rakyatnya sendiri, maksudnya rakyat negara otoriter itu. Karena rakyat itu akan mikir, waduh ini ada negara yang di dekat, yang maju, sejahtera, rakyatnya senyum, bisa kemana-mana, kenapa kita nggak bisa? Ya, pasti muncul pertanyaan itu. Jadi negara otoriter nggak mau punya tetangga yang sukses, punya tetangga yang demokratis. Ini contoh dari Ukraina 2004, kenapa rakyat pada keluar? Karena pada waktu itu ada pemilihan umum, pemilu presiden, dan ada banyak kecurangan yang menang, yang kandidat pro Rusia. Sebenarnya dia nggak menang secara legal, dia menang ilegal karena banyak kecurangan dan pemalsuan. Rakyat pada keluar, rakyat nggak terima hasil itu. Ada pemilu ulang dan terbukti yang kandidat itu memang dasar curang, dasar penipu. Terus setelah itu 2024 di Rusia sudah ada rencana sendiri. Oh ini Ukraina adalah contoh yang buruk karena rakyat mereka bisa keluar, nggak bisa setuju sama pemerintah. Jadi kenapa sekarang ada perang di Ukraina? Salah satu alasannya itu. Saya masih punya berapa menit supaya?
5 minutes to go.
Waduh, saya baru mulai. Oke, secara singkat aja, apa jadi sebab penguatan rezim otoriter di kawasan Asia? Secara singkat aja. Yang pertama itu krisis moneter 2008. Memang akar di situ, asal usulnya penurunan demokrasi di Indonesia ada di 2008. Terus jelas COVID, ya, zaman pandemi. Sebenarnya zaman pandemi itu jadi semacam gladi bersih buat pemerintahan di Asia, karena mereka maksudnya pemerintah, orang pemerintahan, mereka belajar gimana orang itu bisa dirumahkan, ya, gimana massa besar itu bisa dikelola sama aparat. Terus jujur aja kinerja yang ketiga alasannya, kinerja tata kelola pemerintahan di Asia juga terus menurun. Satu hal yang jujur aja bikin saya agak emosi, ya, saya lihat tahun ini ada pemilihan untuk DPR, ya. Saya jujur aja lagi itu kan hak orang Indonesia memilih siapa aja, ya. Saya nggak mau ikut campur, saya orang Ukraina, kita ada pemilu sendiri. Kita pernah memilih seorang komedian jadi presiden, tahu ya, Vladimir Zelensky, jadi dia mantan komedian, dia pelawak. Saya nggak mau bilang pelawak itu komedian itu jelek, enggak. Tukang sapu, komedian, presiden negara itu sama, kita semua manusia. Cuman tren itu menurut saya nggak terlalu baik, ya. Di Indonesia segitu banyak komedian yang masuk ke parlemen. Saya mau tanya, apakah mereka ada skill tertentu, yang keterampilan yang secukupnya? Misalnya salah satu gelar saya itu public administration. Saya secara sadar saya masuk lagi universitas karena saya mau tahu gimana itu cara tata kelola negara. Apakah mereka ada skill itu? Saya pas lewat jalan di Indonesia, saya lihat sekarang menjelang pilkada, ya, dan saya bisa lihat banyak calon bupati, kepala daerah nggak ada sarjana. Menurut saya jujur aja itu nggak benar. Dan untuk itu memang ada gelar di bidang public administration yang menurut saya harus diwajibkan semua karyawan di tempat skala besar, ya, harus punya. Oke, untuk perspektif, jujur aja perspektif agak nggak segitu banyak alasan untuk optimisme. Maksud saya perspektif buat pecinta demokrasi. Memang ada beberapa negara yang memperlihatkan tren positif seperti Sri Lanka atau Nepal. Tapi situasi di situ juga bisa tiap kali berbalik 180 derajat, ya. Karena memang nggak stabil. Jadi yang negara yang memang demokrasinya stabil di Asia cuman bisa dibilang Jepang, kita nunggu teman kita dari Jepang yang mungkin dia bisa membuktikan itu. Taiwan, Korea, yang lainnya sangat diperdebatkan. Oke, jadi kesimpulannya, masa depan demokrasi di Asia jujur aja terlihat agak buram dan memang ada tren kuat untuk otokratisasi. Tapi selalu ada harapan. Harapan itu adalah kalian, rakyat. Rakyat memang adalah penjamin terpeliharanya nilai-nilai demokrasi dan supremasi hukum. Saya ingat gimana rakyat pada tahun 98, ya, membela hak asasi manusia, hak demokrasi untuk rakyat Indonesia. Semoga kalian, para mahasiswa-mahasiswi yang hadir hari ini, selalu ingat bahwa demokrasi itu mungkin bukan hal yang terbaik, tapi terbaik yang bisa diciptakan, tapi terbaik yang kita sekarang punya. Dan tolong itu diingatkan. Semoga kita menang melawan otoritarisme dan hal-hal buruk yang lainnya. Terima kasih banyak. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Anton. Dr. Anton has already remind us about the connection between authoritarian politics and environmental problem, maybe the anthropology. Okay, Pak. Thank you, Pak Rektor. So we will continue with our second speakers. We will invite Bapak Prof. Kozuke Mizuno. Bapak Mizuno, can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah. I can hear your voice.
Okay. Bapak Mizuno, it's now your time and the screen is yours for 20 minutes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much for you are inviting me to this international seminar. Bapak Bapak Alni Mawi Rektor Universitas Nasional terhormat dan juga Bu Erna Ermawati Hotim yang terhormat. Saya terkesan pintar bahasa Indonesia dari Pak Anton. Saya presentasikan paparan saya dalam bahasa Inggris atau dalam Indonesia juga gitu ya. Now today I would like to talk about food security at the age of Anthropocene. Now discussion of Anthropocene is now so important. The Anthropocene epoch is the official unit of geologic time used to describe the most recent period of Earth's history when human activities start to have a significant impact on planet, climate, and ecosystem. Anthropocene and the Industrial Revolution. Some people suggest Anthropocene began at the start of Britain's Industrial Revolution. In the 18th century, which created the world's first fossil fuel economy, burning the organic carbon in fossil fuel enabled large-scale production and drove the growth of mine, factory, and mill. Since then, as a country that followed suit, demand for coal has increased along with carbon dioxide emission to the determining of the environment. It is important to note that some country, region, community, and industry have contributed to planetary pollution and climate change more than others. Industrialized and post-industrial society have produced proportionally more emission and use more resources than developing countries. Cruson, who started the debate, think its real value won't lie in revision to the geologic textbook. His purpose is broader. He wants to focus our attention on the consequence of our collective action and how we might still avoid the worst. What I hope he said is that term Anthropocene will be warming to the world. So now there are many predictions by IPCC with present trend of carbon emission. The global warming is degraded or accelerated, and there are many predictions. Regional warming in the decade 2006 to 2015. The red part is the more serious the issue of warming. So we can see that many part of the Earth is experience the rapid warming, and also how close we are to 1.5 degree Celsius. 1.5 degree Celsius will be thought 1.5 degree Celsius increase, so to bring catastrophe to the world. such as water sea level increasing, extreme climate change, or natural disaster brought by those climate change and so on. And IPCC have calculated that cumulative total global CO2 emission for limiting global warming to 1.5 degree is like this place. On the other hand, already emitted is like this one. So the remaining is only this place, this part. On the other hand, many developing countries should develop further. On the other hand, developed countries have enjoyed the prosperous prosperous country or healthier life or good welfare with consuming these already emitted CO2. On the other hand, developing country should develop now. On the other hand, the remaining CO2 that can be emitted is so limited. So this is a big issue, and we can say that some inequality or injustice among the developing country and developing country. But anyway, we should avoid the calamity that can be brought by the increase of increase of 5.5 degrees Celsius. So that's why many countries have declared that zero emission should be reached. For example, in Japan, 2040 is the target year when the zero emission should be reached. On the other hand, Indonesia, 2060 is the time zero emission should be attained. So now I discuss about the food sector or food production. Now, food production is the one of the most seriously contributed the global warming. Answer project climate change is caused by multiple climate pollutant with CO2, CH4, and NO2 that the three largest individual country to global warming. Agriculture and food production is associated with all the three of these gas and but direct agricultural emission are usually unusual in being dominated by CH4 and so on. And global food system is responsible for 25 to 37% of annual emission. So food production is one of the main cause of global warming that we can see. So we should think many issues. But why those food production brought this global warming? On the other hand, human beings have lived in this planet for about 20,000 or half million years and so on. So the change is as actually the recent one. Usually, industrial revolution is thought as the start of Anthropocene time, but actually, agricultural revolution is precedent before the industrial revolution. The agricultural revolution here is the old system before the agricultural revolution, feudal system in European country, open field system. Now, there west common field, east common field, and the south common field, and there is a community in this center, and the church, and the court, and the settlement, and the commons. And with the field system, there is rotation system: west common field, south common field, east common field, spring corn, winter corn, fallow, like that one. But those system is changed with the new production system we called Norfolk system, combating husbandry. With the Norfolk system, there are no fallow of the cultivation, and these crop was barley. These clover and turnip supply the feed for the cattle. So the cattle discharge the waste, and the waste bring the soil fertile and the productivity increase. And at the same time, enclosure was conducted. With that way, many small farmers are discharged, expelled from rural area. So with that way, the tripartite division, king becomes the landowner, and some large scale farmer and also landlord, but many of them become the capitalist tenant, and former small scale farmer becomes the laborer. With that way, capitalist production system started at the time of agricultural revolution. And green revolution started in tropical countries at the middle of 1960s. Before the green revolution, in tropical countries, of course, there is capitalist agriculture such as sugarcane or tree, rubber, or tobacco, and so on. But subsistence economy still exists, especially a farmer who produce rice, wet rice. But with green revolution, capitalistic production system prevailed. So many farmers started to use the chemical fertilizer, and pesticide, and herbicide, and fungicide. So landscape in rural area in Indonesia started to change in 1960s and 1980s. The green revolution was successful to achieve the self-sufficiency. It is said that. So now in Indonesia, not only Indonesia, many countries, agriculture use so many fertilizers and pesticide, herbicide, and fungicide, and those use of fertilizers such as nutrient, such as nitrogen phosphate and so on, bring the large scale of carbon emission or nitrous oxide or methane and so on. That is a big problem. So now we think the vision or reform of the system. One of the way is organic farming, of course. So with the organic farming, farmer can reduce the use of chemical fertilizer, and farmer are encouraged to use the organic fertilizer, green waste of the people or waste of the cattle, and also the waste of household can be used as a green fertilizer and so on. So organic farming is expected to be developed, and now in Indonesia, we see that the huge amount of pesticide used, and that's why the vegetable is contaminated, and also farmer exposed with pesticide, herbicide, and so on. So quite unhealthy agriculture is conducted, and the consumer also suffer the unhealthy food. So gradual change to organic farming is necessary. But now, if we see the farming vegetable in US or Singapore or in Japan, the situation is far different, because those vegetables are checked by the authority to avoid the too much use of pesticide or the too much use of chemical fertilizer and so on. So that people are concerned with the health of their children. Why mother gave contaminated food, contaminated tomato, contaminated vegetable to their children? That is a big question. So mother will be conscious. Mother should be conscious to give healthy food to their children. That is one key point, key entry point, or key issue. When I visit US in 1980s, there are so many people who experience metabolic syndrome. Their body is so strong, so big, like a log. So fat. But now, when I visit there in 2020, so different. No many people are so fat like our days. And in the Los Angeles, there are big shop that sell the organic vegetable, organic farming product. So in Japan also, consciousness of people has changed. Now we look for the healthy food, healthy lifestyle. Now El Sinta is broadcasting the food waste issue. That is also important. So life of our life of style should be changed because of environmental issue, but because of our health, because of the health of farmers, and because of the healthier town, free from the air pollution. free from the garbage, contaminated river, and so on. So situation in Indonesia now is product of mass production and mass consumption, and too many use of pesticide, fungicide, and chemical fertilizer, and so on. So those lifestyle, those landscape of the Jakarta or rural area should be changed. But that now, why that should be changed? Because of the issue of environment, because of our health, but also because of age of Anthropocene. If the situation is let go like as usual, Anthropocene issue is more serious. The extreme climate change or rob or flood in Jakarta and so on. So we now change the mindset and look for the new age of Anthropocene. But if we think like that way, there are many clues, many phenomena that we can find. Now, I do field survey since 1980s in West Java. Oleh sebab itu, abdi tiasa nyarios bahasa Sunda gitu. But at that time, people don't use a lot, people don't use pesticide at all in the rural abandoned area. But people started use people don't use herbicide at all. People started use pesticide. But now people use so many pesticide and herbicide and fungicide, and the amount of fertilizer also increasing. But for example, if we eat tomato, good tomato that is grown at the greenhouse, that is seriously contaminated. But if we see the tomato that was planted as a roadside, that is quite, they don't use at all those chemicals, that is quite healthier. So actually, until 1980s, there is a de facto organic farming. And okay, okay, okay. Okay. So, for example, pekarangan system. Do you know pekarangan system? There is a pond, so people discharge a waste at the pond, and the fish eat the waste. And at the pekarangan, there is a chicken and many trees. So actually, pekarangan system don't discharge the waste. No waste system. That is local knowledge. Sago farming. Sago don't need the fertilizer. Traditional rubber cultivation also don't need the fertilizer. Now people use a lot of herbicide, but until 1980s, people don't use herbicide. But then to culture Banden, people don't use special feed. The Banden can grow by themselves like that way. Actually, there are so many indigenous knowledge, so we can imagine the food security at the age of Anthropocene with a way looking for the practice before the capitalistic agriculture, and also the local knowledge among the people, and we be conscious with our health of our children, health ourselves, and lifestyle. No, that's all my presentation. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Good morning. First, dear professors, dear distinguished speakers, faculty members and students, it's a pleasure to be here. My name is Yusuf Avcı. I'm a lecturer at the Social Science University of Ankara in Turkey. Today, I will talk about maybe my presentation, Turkey and Southeast Asia in the context of Anthropocene. But first of all, I'd like to thank Professor Erna and Dr. Konita for facilitating this event. Can I have my slide here? Yeah, thank you. The issue is, this is a paper that we wrote with my colleague, Dr. Hatice Çelik. The title is Turkey and Southeast Asia Relations, Quasi-Trans-Regionalism Through Humanitarian Aid and Education. I will just talk about the concept and developing relationships between, can we change the slide? As you know, Anthropocene in its essence actually forces humanity to work together, because we have problems going beyond national borders. For instance, if you think about how you can challenge and tackle ocean pollution without considering Indonesia, right? It's a big archipelago, millions of people live in this country. So if you cannot integrate Indonesia in this process, you cannot actually clean the oceans. So it requires global connection, global cooperation, and increasingly finding solutions beyond borders and actually at the global level. In this context, also, it is important to integrate growing new regional powers, again, like Indonesia, like Turkey, like India, like Saudi Arabia, like Brazil. These countries are newly emerging powers, except as maybe traditional powers like US or China, but we also have to include these new countries. So in this context, we asked how we can understand the connection and cooperation between regions and countries. And this study, we offered a new conceptualization that we called quasi-trans-regionalism, a new concept. And we did that by focusing on Turkey's relationship with Southeast Asia, including, again, Indonesia. So conceptualizing regional interaction, there are different ways to, can we change the slide, please? There are different ways to conceptualize, actually, regional cooperation. One way is we call, in regional studies, interregionalism, which is focusing on formal and institutionalized relationships between regions. Like you can think about European Union and ASEAN, or European Union and African Union. These are two regional organizations, and they have very formal, very institutionalized connection. The other one is, we call in the literature, is transregionalism, which focuses on actually more informal, less institutionalized relationships. Tourism or business can be an example, for instance. Indonesian tourists coming to Turkey can be an example of transregionalism, if you like. But these concepts somewhat inadequate to explain the actions of these new emerging powers, as I mentioned. Because these countries, like Indonesia, like Brazil, they usually tend to act less institutionalized way and make new global connections across regions. And these connections usually involve not only state actors, so diplomatic relations, but also non-state actors. Again, business, NGOs, human connections, migration in different ways. And in this context, we focused on Turkey's emerging relationship with Southeast Asia. So if we look at the historical background, Turkey actually kind of following, maybe this one. So quasi-transregionalism, the concept we focus on, is a specific type that describes multifaceted, multi-layered, and multi-actor relations in countries. So this new concept that we propose explain country-to-region relationships, particularly middle powers, again, and their activism. It is less institutionalized. Can we change the slide? The next one. Less institutionalized, more flexible than traditional multilateralism, multi-layered and multi-actors. So it also involves both state actors and non-state actors. And this is how we explore Turkey's relationship with Southeast Asian countries. If we look at the historical background, actually Turkey kind of follows a multidimensional foreign policy since the Cold War. And can we change the slide? And this is a shift from Turkey's usual foreign policy, because as you maybe know, Turkey's foreign policy usually was focused on West, and specifically European Union. So this is actually a new post-Cold War change in Turkish policy. Sorry, yeah, like this, good, better, okay. One thing is Africa opening. Again, can we change the slide? The next one. One thing is Africa opening, which started in 1998. So now, for instance, as a result, Turkey is actually very active in Africa, just after China and United States. And in 2019, a new initiative, a new initiative was started, and the Southeast Asia now has become a really important focus for Turkish foreign policy. The relationships actually date back centuries. Maybe you know about the Ottoman Empire. Even there was a relationship then. Turkey attended Bandung Conference in 1955, which wasn't very successful. And this 2019 Asia a New Initiative is the last area. So maybe next slide. So in this context, we focused on two important areas. One of them is humanitarian aid, and the other one, education diplomacy, because these two are valuable to show multi-level and multi-actor relationships. Humanitarian aid policy, when we think about that, is a very important area because there are a couple of very strong agencies like TICA and Red Crescent in Turkey, and they are very active in different areas in Southeast Asia, for instance, for helping Rohingya refugees, or in Bangsamoro area in Philippines. For instance, and also non-state actors, and NGO from Turkey, for instance, they established a university in Bangsamoro area in Philippines these days. The next one. Yeah, and then the next one. Education diplomacy is another part of it. Actually, now it is one aspiration for Turkey to become a global education hub. Can we change the slide? Yeah, next one. And actually, there are thousands of Indonesian students, for instance, coming to Turkey for bachelor's and master's studies. I will talk about this later. And it is, Indonesia is the #1 country in Southeast Asia. And this creates different ways of connection between countries and between regions. One of them is, of course, high-level educated people. They learn the language, and there are even, for instance, thousands of intermarriages between Turkish and Indonesian citizens these days, and also creates touristic journeys. I'm sure you all know, for instance, Cappadocia these days, right? And Bali is, on the other hand, is a very famous tourist destination, honeymoon destination in Turkey. So this creates different and long-term relationships. That's actually, and for instance, me coming here and the collaboration between our universities, I think an example of this, because there are different agents like universities also. Maybe the other one. If we try to understand key institutions, universities, as I mentioned, is one of them. Also, for instance, there is Yunus Emre Institute. I'm not sure if there is one in Jakarta, but it teaches Turkish in different countries. I know in Malaysia and Cambodia there is one. And there is one also, another institution, Maarif Foundation. They establish primary to high schools and dormitories. And for instance, in one thing is Turkey scholarships. Again, I will mention this. It provides a good opportunity for international students to come to Turkey, because with this scholarship you don't have to pay any tuition. You get a stipend, and you are provided with free accommodation, even flight tickets, and it continues for during your education. And under this scholarship now, I think around like 15,000 students having education in Turkey. Maybe the next one. When we talk about this cooperation, of course there are challenges. One of them is financial constraints on both sides, because most of them are South, and these are South and South relations, and not the most richest countries in the world. So there are always financial constraints in these collaborations. Language barriers is very important. Now I'm speaking in English. Ideally, we should have done this in our local languages in the future. That's why this intellectual and education opportunities are very important, because we need more Indonesian students who can speak Turkish, and more Turkish people that can speak Bahasa Indonesia. I think that's very, very important aspect. Also need more structured approach to further enhance these relationships, because the more strategic and more focused. And still, these relationships are very much state-centered. We need more non-state actors, again, like universities, like businesses, and like individuals. In conclusion, I want to say that this quasi-transregionalism offers a unique framework to understand middle powers activism in a multipolar world, to understand country-to-region relationships. And both humanitarian and education is very important to understand the nature of these ties, including state and non-state actors. in different levels. And there is still increasing relationships, but I think there is still potential for growth, and especially with non-state actors can play a key role. Now, hopefully Professor Erna will forgive me, but I will try to steal your students. The next slide, maybe. So I want to talk about my university. We all expect you for your further studies, MA or PhD. This is actually quite new if you compare to Universitas NASIONAL, just maybe 11 years old. But Social Sciences University of Ankara is the only and also first social science focused university in Turkey. We have different departments like political science, you can see social sciences, humanities, theology, law, area studies, and different postgraduate programs. It's English-speaking university, so the language of education is English. It's very international, and language studies is very, very important for us. So we teach not only English, but also a second language, definitely, for our undergraduates. And you can learn different languages, some African languages, Asian languages. We have very international and have collaboration programs with European universities, and like, for instance, UNAS is part of it, also in Africa. You can use Turkey scholarships. I think it again provides a very good opportunity to finance your education. Please, you can visit this web address. Maybe next slide. There is a video. Hopefully it will work. If you play this, there should be a play button somewhere below, hopefully. Yeah, maybe it's not working. Okay, next time. Maybe next slide. Thank you. You will see my email number. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to contact. I will be around today, so you can approach me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Yusuf. Dr. Yusuf has already emphasized about the importance of regional cooperation and in terms of education as part of our effort to deal with this Anthropocene era. Now we have our fourth speakers, Bapak Khairul Fuad MA. Time is yours. You want to bring this one? 20 minutes, yeah?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi menjelang siang. It is indeed a great pleasure for me, and I would like to thank my senior, my colleagues, my students, and of course, honorable speakers and handsome chairman. I would like to make a disclaimer before presenting the paper. Yesterday I was approached by the committee that I would be an impromptu speaker. That's why this leads to the second one. As such, I didn't prepare the paper by myself, but I would like to bring the issue to serve as the thought-provoking issue for us. That's why I would like to apologize for my students on the summer course, because some of the issues I have already shared with you during the class. The topic is the impact of gentrification on local communities, exploring socio-economic transformation, and challenges in Jakarta's communities due to gentrification. The last disclaimer I would like to convey is this explanation is extensively based on the research conducted by Ms. Santi somewhere in Kramat Asam in Jakarta. Do we have slide, please? Okay. Now, for those who are not familiar with the concept of gentrification, let me tell you the concept of urban development. Everybody is familiar with the concept of urban development. Now, urban development is a global phenomena, but since urban development creates drawbacks or negative implication for certain groups of the people, then some social scientists started to think of other terminologies. That's why Ruth Glass, a British sociologist, uses the term gentrification to describe the influx of the middle class people into London's lower class people. So in other words, gentrification is the changing of neighborhood. But it is not only the changing of neighborhood. If I may use the concept of Robert Merton, for those who are sociologists, you are familiar with the concept of Robert Merton on the manifest and latent function. The manifest function of urban development is to create development economically for the region. But there are unintended consequences of urban development. That is what gentrification is meant. Because of the influx of the middle and upper income people to the neighborhood previously inhabited by the lower income people, then the lower income people were displaced because they cannot afford to live in that area. Now, let me give you the background of the gentrification that created the problem somewhere in USA, in Chicago, in Pennsylvania, as well as in London. In America, it created tension between the white people and the black people. In London especially, it created tension between the local people and the immigrants, who are the affluent people. Now, gentrifications indicates the economic changes of the region. The region, especially the country, has the concern to develop the region. That's why those who are affluent people, they can afford, they move in to the neighborhood. As a consequence, those who live in that place were displaced to the other place because they cannot afford living in that place at all. Now, the third, next slide, please. The third indicator is the demographic change. We will see, based on the result, there was a demographic change in the context of Jakarta. The influx of the affluent residents can alter the community demographics, leading to cultural changes and tension. In Jakarta, it didn't create the tension, but in US, it created tension between the black people and the white people. And in London, it created, as I told you, created the tension between the immigrants and the local people. And then the fourth one, it indicates the physical upgrades. There was the changing of the appearance of the region because of the improvement of the infrastructure, the development of business districts, and the development of the government agencies. But the question is, who benefits a lot from this development after the displacement of the original people? After giving the background, I would like to invite you to understand the concept of gentrification. The origin of gentrification, it was in London to describe the drawbacks or the negative impacts of the urban development. And the issue is not only, urban development is not only the revitalization of the region or renovation of the houses, but the negative impacts of the urban development is the displacement. And there are two kinds of displacement: direct displacement and indirect displacement. Later I will discuss when closing the presentation. The other context is the role of government and developers, because gentrification might be voluntary, might be engineered by the government. For example, the city develops because of the intervention of the government through particular policy, or the other voluntary gentrification is simply because the newcomers coming, because they want to have close proximity to the workplace, or they want to have to be in the strategic place somewhere in Jakarta. And there was opportunity because they can afford to buy the land, and then in later years they can change to become the properties. What is meant by gentrification? I provide, next slide please. Gentrification is the process by which working class residents or neighborhoods are rehabilitated and upgraded, leading to displacement of low income residents by middle or upper income newcomers. In short, gentrification is the movement of higher income residents into what are historically lower income neighborhoods, typically associated with increased property values and displacement of current residents. You may wonder why the people who originally inhabit that place, at the end they were displaced, and in case they were not only displaced, but in the case of Jakarta, their number dropped significantly within 30 years. Now, what are the causes of gentrification? Normally, there are two causes of gentrification. When it comes to the theories of gentrification, gentrification is driven by economic factors. This is number one. Those who focus on the economic factors, that why gentrification happens, because there is disparity between the current price of the property and the perceived margin after they change the property into the new properties. That's why there is a chance, there is opportunity to get the money. The second theory is more on the cultural perspective of gentrification. Why gentrification happens, why the people coming to that place, especially in the strategic places in Jakarta, it is not motivated by the economic factor, but by the cultural factor. Because this place, they want to be closer to the workplace. The second one, because they see there is a change of the lifestyle in that area. For example, why people move, for example, to Kemang. It is not driven by the economic factors, but it is associated with the prestige area. If somebody asking you, where do you live? I live in Pondok Indah. It indicates that you come from particular social status. They are not motivated by the economic factors, but culturally it is good for them to get the image, to give the impression that you come or you belong to particular social class. Now, these are the conceptualization of the gentrification. Now, coming to the issue, the research was conducted on the Betawi people somewhere in Kramat Asam. If I describe the characteristic, the socio-economic characteristic of the Betawi people, please no offense, because this is just to bring the issue into our attention. Now, to give you the background, the research was conducted through interview back to the memory of the people being interviewed in 1970s until 2017. Those people, the local and the immigrants, were interviewed. To give you the background about the characteristic of the Betawi people, in terms of economic activities, traditionally Betawi people were involved in agriculture, fishing, and small-scale trading. However, as Jakarta evolved into a bustling metropolis, many Betawi shifted to informal sector jobs such as street vendors, artisans, and small business owners. This is the current phenomena. But in 1970s, mostly the agriculture, fishing, and small scale. Now, property ownership, well known for the Betawi people. Historically, many Betawi people, families owned land, houses in strategic parts of the Jakarta. They owned acres of the land. But then over time, because of the gentrification, the Betawi families sold their land because they cannot afford living in that area culturally, economically, and socially. They have been marginalized economically, culturally, and socially. I will discuss further what I meant by socially, culturally, and socially happened to the Betawi people. In terms of education and employment, traditionally education was not the primary focus for Betawi families, especially for women. Now, many Betawi adults have limited their formal education, and this affects their employment opportunities. It is understandable. If you have lack education, then you have lack opportunity for the employment. The fourth one is women in the workforce. Now, Betawi culture traditionally placed the woman in domestic roles. Now, with limited participation in the formal workforce. Only currently the women were involved in the workplace, and it was a limited workplace. The women are seeking employment often in domestic work, small businesses, or as vendors. This is the background of the Betawi people. And in 1970s, next slide please, there was a changing generous, no. Move
You
forward.
have 5 minutes
No,
to
move
go.
forward. Next.
Powerful.
Next. 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 Move forward, that is backward. No. Next. Okay. Generational changes. The first generation of the Betawi people, those who were born before 1945, they kept the traditional lifestyles. Now, Betawi community thrive with traditional lifestyles, limited education, and focus on cultural preservation. And the second generation are those who were born after 45 until 1970s. So this is cultural interactions. There was increased interaction with newcomers, led to changing marriage patterns and rise in educational awareness among the Betawi people. In the past, the marriage pattern among the Betawi people is endogamous. They married with their own people. But then, after the second generation, there was a shift of the marriage pattern, which is exogamous. Because of mixture with the other people outside of the Betawi, they mix with the other ethnic groups. And the third generation, the modern challenges This is the era for the Gen Z of the Betawi people. Betawi community embraced modern lifestyles but faced struggles with cultural identity and the preservation of their heritage. This is the far-reaching consequences of the displacement. Now, next please. These are the result of the study or the findings of the study. I'm not going to read the whole findings, but the findings are divided into three. The Betawi people until 1970s, 1980s to 2000, and then 2000 until now. Now, what I meant by now, research was conducted in 1918 in the past. Until 1970s, Betawi made up of 90% of all population in Kramat Asam. 90%. And then in 1980s, the number dropped. And the immigrants made up of 30%. And in 2018, the number dropped to become only 10%. So 80% of the number of the Betawi people dropped in Kramat Asam. This indicates the displacement of the Betawi people. They were pushed out of the region. Now,
Bapak Fuad, 2 minutes to go.
okay, thank you. Now, in short, there was a changing of lifestyle of the Betawi people. Number one, they were displaced. Now, imagine when the people were displaced, they were not only losing their houses, they were losing their social networks. What is meant by social networks? Social networks is the structure made up of organization or individuals which are connected by one or two specific interdependence, such as family, kinship, friendless, and then acquaintances, and then sexual relationship. Imagine in the past, the Betawi people, when there was one member of the family passing away, they got the emotional support, financial support from the close family life. But now, because some of the people were displaced, they cannot get the financial support, they cannot get the emotional support, and like or dislike, they were displaced to the other place. So this indicates displacement number one, they were displaced because they cannot afford living in that place. The second one, indirect displacement, is they have to move because no other Betawi living here. They feel loneliness within the crowd. So many people, but they feel lonely. Now, I would like to highlight some of the implication. The result of the finding says the demographic shift, newcomers are integrating into local culture, reshaping community identities. In the past, the culture was dominant for the Betawi people. Now there was a shifting. Ethnic culture replaced by the culture of the social class. We have to celebrate the multiculturalism because of the gentrification on one hand, but on the other, there is a sad story that the Betawi people are displaced socially, economically, and culturally. And then there was a social fragmentation, although the people living side by side, the immigrants and the local people, but the problem, the traditional cultural practices among Betawi people are diminishing due to displacement. I hope this can trigger our mind to have further research on the same topic, gentrification somewhere in Jakarta. Now, I would like to close the session by saying that this story indicates that the development is like two sides of the same coin. One side is the economic development, the other side is the social, cultural, and economic marginalization of particular group. development is not only about economic development, development is also about social justice. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much, Bapak Khairul Fuad, for your presentation. And his presentation about the local community of Jakarta remind me something about Jakarta vulnerability at the Anthropocene era. Jakarta that is sinking an alarming rate is 25 centimeters per year. You can imagine 25 centimeters per year, and the rising sea levels combined with the reckless over extraction of groundwater make Jakarta as one of the fastest sinking cities on the planet. I wish it become a wake-up call for all of us here to discuss interesting issues that already emphasized by each speaker here. So the first speaker has emphasized the importance of the political system that have an influence in terms of our effort to manage environmental destruction in the Anthropocene era, whether we are still in the autocratic regime or we are moving to democratic regime. And we also have an important issues that presented by Professor Mizuno about that in fact our food production system also contribute to the problem of global warming. So, and he offers several alternatives, including the indigenous farming system that are more sustainable than the capitalist food production system. And the third speaker mentioned about the importance of the global action, the regional collaboration within countries, and especially in the case of Turkey, relation with Southeast Asia and education. It's also one of important issues here. And the last session about the local communities' participation, he offered the other phase of development, that we need a social justice in developing our city. So there are 4 key issues that already discussed here. And now we move to the second session that I will open the discussion with participants here and to the floor. If you have any questions or respond to the point that the speakers presented here, I welcome you. Please raise your hand first. We have 4 already, 5 already, okay? We will start from Mr. Please state your name and your question with a more certainty. Thank you. Ada. Please state your name and affiliation. Thank you.
My name is Tio Hari. I'm PhD student at the Ritumekan University, Japan. I would like to ask several questions. First, to Professor Anton. You mentioned about the Ukrainian, but I want to know from your perspective. Last week, the new Prime Minister of Japan, after his first speech, he had concern about what he called with the new Ukraine that might be happen in East Asia. As you said, as you mentioned about how the power of China is try to expand their power to the territory. But however, there is another challenge from I think from the East Asian, from North Korea. Last week, the leader of North Korea, he told that they're always ready to send the missile anytime to the South Korea. So I would like to know from your perspective to what extent it could be happen, and will about the configuration of the politics from that region. And the second question is, what do you suggest about Indonesia, the backsliding of Indonesian democracy currently, where as mentioned, Indonesian politicians they might be not have sufficient capability, and then they have instead of competence, they have more informal connection with the elites and so on. And so what is your suggestions and to Indonesia to overcome the challenges? And for Mizuno Sensei, Professor Mizuno, I would like to know about your perspective. How do you suggest for Indonesian government, especially regarding the food security? So Indonesian government, as we know, we are massively opening new farmland. It means deforestation and then so on. And is it we are on the right side, or what should we do? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bapak Satrio. Next, Ibu Zen.
Okay, thank you, Pak Andi, for the opportunity. And thank you to all the speakers who have presented so well. My name is Jane Oflinteja. I'm one of the lecturers here in FISIP UNAS. As we are all aware that we cannot underestimate these Anthropocene impacts. My research focus on child welfare. So these Anthropocene issues concern me a lot about how child welfare 10 to 20 years from now. So with these all environmental challenges that we are facing right now, from deforestation, climate change, also the natural disasters and environmental degradations, compelled me to ask these questions. The first one I would like to ask to Prof. Akmal. How can governments, NGOs, and communities collaborate in addressing the impacts of the Anthropocenes on children's future? In children's future, including education and sustainable living conditions. And the second question I would like to address to Professor Mizuno. What preventive measures can be implemented to ensure that children's rights are protected? Children's rights like their right to get the clean water, clean air, and so on and so on. And the third one, I would like to address my questions to Pak Fuad. How can we use interdisciplinary approach in sustainable development to address both environmental and social impacts on children, particularly in urban areas, and as this is also the impacts of gentrifications? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ibu Jane. The next participant that raised your hand, okay, Ahmed.
Hello everyone. My name is Awais Ahmad and I have a simple question from Dr. Anthony. Your topic was about democratic and autocratic regimes in Asia. So I will just ask a simple question discussing the case of Pakistan and China. Let's say Pakistan is an autocratic country, right? And there are weak democratic institutions there. But still they have no consolidated democracy. But in the other case, China has autocratic regime too, and still they have strong democratic institutions. So my question is that why they face the difficulty to consolidate the full democracy? Why they are not fully consolidated democracy? Despite the presence of the democratic institution, rather it is weak or rather it is strong. So why it is not fully consolidated democracy? Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed. Another from Aston.
Thank you. My name is Baston. My question goes to Turkey, mostly with regards to the educational diplomacy. As countries like Turkey engage in education diplomacy with nations vulnerable to climate change, such as those from Asia and Africa, I would like to know, does Turkey Turkey's education diplomacy really involve the true exchange of ideas? Or is it just another Eurocentric model that is there to promote the top-down? And if so, the fight with regards to the Anthropocene, do you have any specific interdisciplinary approaches that are put in place with regards to your education diplomacy? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The last one from Ibu. Oh, yes, Dia? No.
Thank you so much, Pak Andi, for the opportunity, and I enjoy all of the presentation. And personally, I would like to thank all the presenters, even to Pak Fuad who prepared this just yesterday. I'm grateful for that. Okay, to my question to Prof. Mizuno, the number of farmers that decline in all over the world, even that we are noticed that farming is not about conventional method. We've been introduced to what it called smart farming. Yet our farmers still very far from understanding the 4.0 technology. We still far behind, even probably we're still in the 1.0 technology. Our farmers still in a early farming technology. How do we address this gap? To Dr. Anton, it is an irony that the highest number of our vote in our last election went to Komeng. He's a comedian. He holds the highest single person vote of member of People Representative Assembly atau MPR. Having a comedian in our representative definitely was not in our wildest dream, never been in our thought ever. But it seemed like the people is feeling damage. The damage that they cannot control or reverse. What is the phenomenon actually? How do you address this situation? And for Yusuf, I'm curious with Turkey decision focusing in engagement with Southeast Asia, both in studies and soft diplomacy that implemented in your scholarship offers. I'd like to know more, what is the encounter moment or specific historical background for this? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ibu Nita. So we have 5 questions to all of our speakers here. So I will give the opportunity first to Bapak Mizuno. Bapak Mizuno, are you still there?
Okay, yeah, of course.
Okay.
I stay here.
It's okay. You have 3 questions directly to you.
Okay, I answer those questions to me.
Okay. Yes,
Hello?
yes, please. Yes,
Hello,
please.
hello. Okay, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for many questions to me. First, maybe one is the technology of agriculture, and also second is for children. And first point is the agri agriculture policy in Indonesia. Yeah, okay, okay. First, on the first topic of agriculture policy in Indonesia, I think that for example, the President Jokowi promised to achieve the swasembada pangan, so self-sufficiency of rice or soybean or sugar and so on. That target is a good one. So hopefully those targets should be pursued. So now government import a lot of rice from foreign countries. Indonesia is one of the, not one of the, Indonesia biggest rice importer in the world. Why? In Indonesia, there are so many rice fields and so many farmers, but still Indonesia import a lot of rice. Now, there are many ways to achieve the swasembada. For example, during the Soeharto regime, in 1984, government achieved the swasembada. At that time, government made a lot of effort to increase the rice production. Although the BIMAS program or Green Revolution has a negative side. But anyway, government have implemented many programs to enhance the consciousness of local people or introducing the new variety and supplying the subsidized fertilizers and so on. So today's main policy is food estate. That is, I think that is not good policy. Food estate is one of the policy, but actually the vast area of rice fields such as Karawang, Ngawi, or South Sulawesi and so on. So on the other hand, there is a serious issue of rice disease or rice pest or insect and so on. So the traditional issue should be tackled. On the other hand, more advocate for rice estate, food estate. That is, but that conventional agriculture is important as that related to the welfare of local people in Java or Sumatra and so on. So balanced policy is hope such as irrigation or fertilizer and so on. But anyway, now the time of unsolved sin. So we bear in mind. We should bear in mind that the organic agriculture should be promoted and irrigation should be improved and swasembada policy should be pursued as a promise by president. So that is my and I think that can be done if the government or people try to all effort to achieve that target. And the second question is that relating to children, I so from the answer pon, yeah, sorry. Anthropogenic itu so from the anthropocene point of view, we should many improve. For example, in Jakarta or everywhere, many children ride a bicycle, motor bicycle. Even student of primary school go to school with a bicycle. That should be prohibited, I think. Why they don't have the license, but they ride a bicycle, and that is quite dangerous. There's a danger for the accident, and they discharge the carbon, and children should go to school by by on foot. With that way, their body, their physique should be improved, for example, and the air pollution, or that lead to the air pollution. So health of children should be cared more careful way. So that relate the consciousness of health for children. Like I said in my presentation, why mother give contaminated vegetable to their children? That is a big question for me. Now, for example, if the vegetable in Jakarta exported to Singapore, many of those vegetables is rejected because in Singapore the health criteria or inspection for the contaminated vegetable is strict. So there are many topics that can be paid attention, improve the welfare of children, I think. And the third point, the technology of farmer is not so highly sophisticated in Indonesia, but the problem is not for IT or like that one, but the problem that target is swasembada or self-sufficiency, increase of the welfare of farmer, and so on. And in Indonesia, farmer of rice field, farmer of wet rice field is not increasing, but farmer for oil palm is increasing rapidly. So we cannot say easily that the number of farmer is decreasing everywhere. Now, so agriculture is important every country. So Indonesia can develop the agriculture. Now, agriculture like oil palm, agriculture becomes the industry of export. Rice traditionally Indonesian sugar were exported. So those policy or change of structure in the agriculture structure can be attained, and we hope that can be done. The technology advance of technology is decided by many factors, and those of factor of production in availability of labor force or capital and so on. So the somewhat low level of technology is not be blamed. I think that should be blamed is contamination or the too much use of pesticides that make consumer consumer dangerous, or farmer dangerous, or and this was one and such as such policy of, but that should be uh, I think. Yeah, thank you very much.
Selamat siang semuanya lagi. Saya mulai dari pertanyaan dari Okay. I will do partly in English, partly in Indonesian. Okay. Really, it's for me for right now. It's even better to speak Indonesian than English, because English it's not my native. My native is Ukrainian. So, but okay. So about first question, as I understood, the first question was about the role of Northern Korea. Yeah. Northern Korea and in global transformation and perspectives for Indonesia, yeah? Okay, so, and I skip to Indonesian. Lagi kalau kita bahas, saya mau menggarisbawahi bahwa jelas itu semua subjektif, ya. Ini pendapat saya pribadi, tapi saya punya pengalaman yang lumayan, ya. Jadi pertama tentang peran Korea Utara. Jujur aja Korea Utara, bahkan saya tadi pas ada jeda sebentar saya baca berita gimana Korea Utara, jujur aja. Dan sama Supreme Leader Kim beberapa jam yang lalu dia mengatakan Korea Utara akan jadi negara yang paling kuat di seluruh dunia, ya seperti biasa. Tapi ya kalau kita memang lebih serius, Korea Utara menurut saya itu kan boneka dari China, ya. Jadi apa yang China mau melakukan itu dilakukan sama tangan Korea Utara, itu aja, ya. Misalnya Korea Utara sekarang sorry saya balik ke persoalan Ukraina. Korea Utara sekarang ngirim rudal ke Rusia, ya, tukar sama minyak bumi sama gas, rudal, amunisi buat artileri ke Rusia. Jadi China seperti nggak ikut campur. Padahal sebenarnya ya karena ini semua ditugaskan, diperintahkan dari Beijing. Jadi sebenarnya Korea Utara dari satu hal, ya jujur aja saya nggak mau menyalahin mereka, tapi dari satu hal itu seperti monyet, ya monkey with grenade, ya. So we need to be careful with this guy Kim, but ya jangan kita meremehkan mereka. Jujur aja. Niat mereka untuk jadi negara yang superpower itu memang kuat. Dan sebenarnya kalau kita bicara tentang perang dunia ketiga itu bisa dimuat sama tembakan rudal nuklir dari Korea Utara. Jadi sebenarnya kita harus memang sangat waspada sekali sama perkembangan politik di situ itu. Ya menurut saya. Terus lagi saya ke pertanyaan yang gimana perspektif Indonesia. Ya, tolong dikit perhatian ke saya, karena saya mau dikit curhat, ya, curhat nasib rakyat saya. Jadi misalnya 20 tahun yang lalu kita orang Ukraina nggak pernah mikir perang bisa datang ke tanah kita, ya. Kita, ya misalnya kalau ada perang di mana-mana orang Ukraina biasanya, itu perang di jauh, kita nggak akan kena, ya misalnya Palestina, ya. Wah itu jauh, kita nggak akan kena. Syria, ya, itu di tempat yang kita nggak kenal. Saya dari dulu udah bilang, aduh kita harus menyadari bahwa perang itu, apalagi sekarang di zaman antroposen dan zaman yang segitu global, perang itu nggak bisa jauh. Perang selalu udah ada pengaruh, ada dampak ke kita, maupun ekonomi. Baik yang dampak yang sekarang merasakan kita di Ukraina, dampak global. Jadi jujur aja kemarin ada acara peluncuran buku teman saya yang baik, Bapak Yudi Krisnandi, mantan Dubes Indonesia ke Ukraina. Dan peluncuran itu ada di Bandung di Aula Pikiran Rakyat, salah satu koran ternama di Sunda, di Tatar Sunda, ya. Terus ada satu pertanyaan, dan sebenarnya pertanyaan itu agak menyentuh hati kita semua. Jadi satu orang bilang, bukan pertanyaan tapi kenyataan dari orangnya. Dia bilang, waduh saya jujur aja, saya nggak segitu yakin kalau rudal sampai Jakarta. Rakyat Indonesia sekarang ini sanggup membela diri. Maksudnya karakter rakyat Indonesia cukup untuk membela diri. Dan itu sebenarnya agak pujian buat rakyat Ukraina, meskipun jelas kita dibandingkan Rusia, jumlah penduduk mereka 150 juta. Kita 40, kita udah kalah dari jumlah penduduk. Tapi perang itu udah berlangsung 3 tahun, berarti karakter bangsa cukup kuat. Betul? Betul. Jadi sama orang itu agak dipertanyakan karakter bangsa Indonesia. Saya sangat berharap sekali karakter kuat dan memang nilai demokrasi di Indonesia masih bisa dipertahankan lagi. Dan memang menurut saya Indonesia itu sekarang ini memang harus belajar dari situasi yang ada di dunia. Dan memang rasa patriotisme Indonesia, nasionalisme yang sehat harus diperkuatkan lagi. Menurut saya ada penurunan juga di situ. Jadi karena ya zaman ini memang orang cari untung dulu, nggak mikir tentang hal-hal rohani yang seharusnya. Jadi mungkin kita harus agak dikit bersihkan diri dan lagi mikirkan nasib bangsa kita ke depan. Saya harap saya menjawab pertanyaan. Ya, oke. Okay. Selanjutnya, the next one is from Mr. Ahmed, if I'm not wrong, yeah, about Pakistan and China, about why both of these countries are not consolidating democracies, yeah? Exactly, yeah? Why Pakistan and China are not consolidating democracies? Am I right? Okay, can I explain? Okay, I try it in a couple of sentences. Okay, can I speak about it in Indonesia, or would be it better in English for you? In English, okay. So, in my opinion, it's again my strong subjective opinion, religion and what we call democracies should be split. And I'm talking not about Pakistan, I'm talking about China first of all. Because in China they have such phenomenon like, we can call it like state religion. It's not about religion, agama, yeah? It's not about religion which we have the God, yeah? And some religious ideologies. They have own ideology, Chinese ideology based on communism. And in my opinion, that's the most important problem for us, normal people who likes democracy, to cooperate with China. Why? Because they have a strong hierarchy, yeah? And in my opinion, it's a state religion, it's very common, like Catholicism. So they have, in Catholicism, they have the Pope, yeah? In China, they have also the Pope, which name is Xi. He is a state secretary. They, in Catholicism, they have a board of cardinals, yeah? In China, they have also the board of cardinals, which they called, we can call it Politburo, yeah? Political bureau. So in Catholicism, they have bishops. In China, they have also like bishops, as first secretary of Communist Party, but in which province? So they have this state religion, which is poisonous for democracies. So why they are not consolidating democracy? Because they have hierarchy. Democracy and hierarchy is the same, it's not the same, it cannot exist together. So, yeah, about Pakistan, again, it's it's like subjective, and it's my advice for Indonesia also. Yeah, we have our own beliefs, faiths, religions. Don't put it into state, social development, because it's a little bit different, in my opinion. So our beliefs, our faiths, our iman, let's stay with us. But democracy and social politics should have own progress. It's my strong opinion. Okay. I hope I answer your question. Okay. Or we will
You will continue later.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Yeah? Okay, thank you very much.
And the third one, talking about democracy, autocracy, it's dangerous stuff, you know, it's a lot of questions you have to answer. But the last I like, as I remember, this guy comment, it's his sign, uhui, or something like this, yeah. So we are talking about comment, and I split to bahasa Indonesia. Lagi, saya balik ke situasi di Ukraina ya, karena tadi dibilang apakah ini, gimana kecenderungan ini ya, orang komedian masuk ke DPR, MPR dan seterusnya, benar itu atau baik atau enggak baik. Oke, contoh sama Presiden Ukraina Zelensky, memang mantan komedian, gimana caranya dia dianggap sama rakyat serius. Mereka bikin semacam sinetron Ya betul, sinetron series namanya Pelayan buat Rakyat. Sinetron itu sangat berhasil sekali, memang jadi populer di kaum Ukraina. Mereka bikin partai, namanya sama seperti sinetron itu, Pelayan buat Rakyat. Partai itu menang pemilu, Zelensky jadi presiden. Baik enggak? Subjektif sekali. Banyak yang pro kontra, jelas. Tapi menurut saya ada sisi baiknya. Kenapa ada sisi baiknya? Buat Indonesia, sisi baiknya misalnya seperti Komeng masuk. Karena dengan ini kita bisa memecahkan masalah elitarisme. Apa yang dimaksudkan dengan kata elitarisme? Jelas di Indonesia udah terlihat memang dinasti-dinasti yang ada di dunia politik. Malah saya nggak sentuh sekarang persoalan sama Presiden Indonesia ya. Saya bisa lihat dari orang-orang lain, misalnya para menteri punya anak ya. Itu yang saya tadi bicara pas speech saya soal social lifts. Para menteri punya anak. Anak itu udah masuk ke parlemen. Benar, kalau mereka pintar, cerdas, nggak ada jeleknya. Tapi kalau cuman karena anak dari menteri, sorry, saya ada satu contoh, saya nggak mau sebutkan nama, tapi ada satu menteri, anaknya pernah menabrak mobil. Orang tewas pas kecelakaan itu. Dan salah satunya bayi, anak kecil. Memang ada kejadian, saya nggak mau sebutkan anak. Terus saya sebagai pengamat Indonesia, saya melihat orang itu yang anak dari menteri yang menyebabkan kecelakaan itu mau masuk ke DPR. Lagi benar enggak, saya nggak mau menilai karena saya orang Ukraina. Untuk Ukraina saya bisa menilai. Tapi menurut saya tren itu ya, orang seperti Komen masuk itu tren baik karena mencegah elitarisme. Tapi ada sisi buruknya juga karena seperti saya bilang, kalau orang itu enggak ada keterampilan untuk mengelola negara, gimana caranya? Kemungkinan besar mereka bisa jadi boneka di tangan dalang yang lebih pintar dan kuat. Harap enggak sampai itu dan mereka memang sangat cerdas dan membantu Indonesia jadi negara yang sangat kaya dan sejahtera. Terima kasih banyak.
Oke, terima kasih Anton. Thank you very much. So we will move to Yusuf.
There were two questions. The first one about interdisciplinary and Eurocentrism. I mean, I can't say that Turkey specifically have developed a curriculum because it's, $1 billion question. Like, no one knows how to do that without using Eurocentric concepts. Not only in Turkey, but nowhere else in the world. Like, I'm sure in Indonesia, political science classes start with Plato, Aristotle, but because we don't know what else and how to do that. So, but what I can say is we have maybe an advantage, not only Turkey, but countries in the global south don't have colonial baggage, and African countries. So it's not only about Turkey, but also I think in each country, in each region, becoming more local, but at the same time trying to develop concepts that can be applied, or at least other people can use in other parts of the world. That's, I think, the way we should go. I think this is the only way that we can try, at least. But it's international, interdisciplinary, I can say that. For instance, we have area studies programs looking in different aspects like humanities, languages, theology, political science. So I think this is one way to go. The second question, Dr. Konita, about is there a specific moment in Turkish foreign policy? I don't think so, but I think it's part of a more general trend that similarly Turkey has this Africa initiative, and all countries actually now have to give importance to Asia, which is rising in every metrics. So I think this is only Turkey's approach to use this opportunity and have more claim on this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Yusuf, for your short answer. Quick, very quick. Anton, you have a couple sentences.
Yeah, I want to add, excuse me, that question from Mr. Ahmed makes a lot of thoughts in my head. Just one sentence I want to add. Why Pakistan and China couldn't be consolidated democracies right now? Yeah, because in my opinion, we are talking in Asia. When we are talking about democracy, it's like more about talking about elections, but it's not right. Elections, it's only part of democracy. But when we're talking about democracy, first of all, it's free of speech. And in my opinion, there are some problems with free of speech in Pakistan and China. First of all, in China, for sure. And another country, it's India right now, which has a lot of problems with democracy. Maybe Pakistan, excuse me, but not as bad as India and China in this case. So I want to underline, free of speech is the most important thing when we're talking about democracy. Thanks a lot, and yeah, we can continue later. Thanks.
Thank you, Anton. So you can continue discussion with Ahmed outside after this session. And last, we have Bapak Khairul Fuad.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to address the questions by Ibu Jean. My presentation was on marginalized group, but you asked the question how to protect children and include the children on the development. There is a similarity. Commonly, marginalized group, minority, women, and children are put in one basket. They are vulnerable people. So to address the issue of the vulnerable people, at least two things. Number one, how to cater for their needs. And the second one is how to overcome the obstacles that may hinder those groups to be included in the development. Because those vulnerable, like children, they are vulnerable for the issues like juvenile delinquency, bullying, and then online gaming or online gambling, and sexual violence, all these kind of things. And I just would like to add, because the children are very much dependent on the parents, especially the women, then the government should have particular package of the parenting. The parenting is very important, because one of the example, the addiction of the gadget among the children is partly or extensively is the contribution of the neglected attention from the parents, especially the mothers. So through the parenting, because learn from this case, the Betawi people have been marginalized. In the case of development, government should sharpen the what they call the unintended consequences of development itself. Social justice is one of the issues. So the government should not overemphasize on the economic development, but social justice is also must also be put there. The affirmative action can be considered to overcome these vulnerable people. I think that's all. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Fuad. And now we move to the ending of this session. And I would like to thank for all of our speakers here, Pak Mizuno online, and also Yusuf, Anton, and Pak Fuad. Give them applause, please. And in a closing, I would like to make a statement. As we navigate the Anthropocene, it is clear that humanity stands at a critical crossroad. These efforts, shaped by our action, remind us that the boundaries between nature and society are increasingly blurred, with ecological changes now mirroring social inequalities. The responsibility to address this era challenge lies not just with scientists, policymakers, or activists, but with all of us as stewards of the earth. Understanding the Anthropocene means recognizing the interconnectedness of all life, and it calls for future, one that respects both our environment and each other. Let us move forward with the knowledge that the choice we make today will shape the world for generations to come. Thank you very much for your participation. So,
Okay, once again, please give a big round of applause to our speakers and moderator for today. What a wonderful presentations. Thank you for the remarkable and insightful discussions. Please stay on the stage. And now we would like to invite to the stage the Dean of Faculty of Social and Political Science, Universitas Nasional, Associate Professor Dr. Erna Ermawati, Kotim MSI, to present the token of appreciation to our speakers today. Please, on the stage, please. Yeah. Okay, the first one, the token will be given to Dr. Uyesi Yusuf Afci from Social Science University of Ankara. Okay, the photo session, please see the cameras in front of you. Thank you, please give another applause to Dr. Uyesi Yusuf Afci. And next one, the token will be given to Dr. Anton Galuska Adaikin from Kharkiv Institute of Oriental Studies and International Relations, Ukraine. Okay, everyone, please give another applause to Dr. Anton Galuska Adaikin. And last one, but not least, the token will be given to Bapak Khairul Fuad MA as a sociologist from Universitas Nasional. Thank you, and continue photo session with all the speakers and moderator for today. And continue photo session, the faculty leaders with our speakers and moderator for today. Yeah, please see the cameras in front of you. Another pose, international. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much for all the speakers and moderator, faculty leaders. Once again, please give a big round of applause to our speakers today. And also to Professor Kosuke Mizono, PhD, who joining us virtually today. Thank you for your time. Please return to your seat, kindly back to your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is a break session. And we would like to remind you there will be a panel session after break. We have several sub-themes that reflect the involvement and interest of conference participants in important contemporary issues. Thank you very much, and we will see you very, very soon in the panel session after break at 1:30 p.m. And now we are happy to present you the solo performance by Mutia Azahra.
UNAS TV hadir sebagai televisi kampus yang menghadirkan program menarik dan informatif. Dalam program Era Berita dan UNAS Update, UNAS TV menyajikan liputan aktual yang mengulas beragam peristiwa terkini, rekomendasi tempat rekreasi, serta informasi seputar kampus Universitas Nasional. UNAS TV juga menawarkan berbagai program hiburan, mulai dari kuliner, seni, tokoh inspiratif, hingga segmentasi menarik lainnya. Tepat pada tahun 2023, UNAS TV memberikan kesempatan bagi siswa kelas menengah dan mahasiswa untuk menuangkan bakat mereka di bidang televisi melalui kompetisi skala internasional dalam program UNAS TV Present. Tidak berhenti di sini, kedepannya UNAS TV akan terus menciptakan program menarik, inovatif, serta informatif. Dengan semangat evolving beyond creativity, UNAS TV siap melangkah lebih jauh lagi. UNAS TV hadir sebagai televisi kampus yang menghadirkan program menarik dan informatif. Dalam program Era Berita dan UNAS Update, UNAS TV menyajikan liputan aktual yang mengulas beragam peristiwa terkini, rekomendasi tempat rekreasi, serta informasi seputar kampus Universitas Nasional. UNAS TV juga menawarkan berbagai